Hey everybody,
Cool.
welcome to the POS Podcast, episode 140. Have Jack, Saber, and Hero with us. I haven't heard back from Tom. He might join later. I did message him, but he hasn't said anything back. And I messaged him in our little group chat here, but he still hasn't said anything. But he might join later, depending on if he's around or not. But yeah, bunch of stuff to talk about. Bunch of stuff to review actually on this podcast compared to earlier ones. So we can talk about that stuff. But before we do, have you guys been past couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I got nothing to complain about. Yeah, just working. That's all I can do.
Same.
Yeah.
Staying busy, doing work, playing the hell out of Monster Hunter. I almost beat it.
Did you really? No.
I did see people that beat it within 12 hours. I was like, damn, really? beat it, the story mode or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, who plays that?
Yeah, you tried the Monster Hunter Rise demo, right? And you tried Lance, and you're like, this is hard.
I was like, what am I doing?
That's
and
fine.
then I went back and played the tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what am I doing?
Ask me questions.
Yeah,
I will.
it's very different from other games. Like because I actually got into Monster Hunter because my friend Tyler from high school, he had Monster Hunter Try, and he's like, I can't figure out this game. You can have it. I was like, okay. So I played it. I was like, this is very complicated. And when I started playing it, but then I started figuring things out because there's a lot of stuff that it just does not tell you. So I just had to go online and look into some tutorials. And this was before there was a lot of tutorials on YouTube because this was back in 2010, when Monster Hunter Try first came out. So, but I put 100 hours into Monster Hunter Try, So after coming back to Monster Hunter Rise after that long gap of not playing a Monster Hunter, stuff started coming back to me. I was like, okay, I remember this. And I just picked the weapon I was most comfortable with, which is the Switch Axe.
Which is funny because it's definitely one of the hardest weapons in the game.
Yeah, I think because
Yeah.
when I played Try, I saw Switch Axe and was like, ooh, I like the way this moves and how it changes between the axe and the sword, and how you can just sort of kind of grapple onto enemies by shoving your sword into it. So yeah, but we'll talk more about Rise coming up. But Saber, you also went down to Georgia, right?
Yes, it was a
Did you
brief
see the
visit.
devil?
Yes, I looked in the mirror and I saw him in his eye. No, I went down to Georgia. It was a very quick visit. I was going down there for a family emergency, essentially. We're fine. Went to go see my mom, my dad. We're all being safe with COVID and keeping our distance, and some of them are getting their vaccinations. And went to go see my grandmother. Waved to her as she was on the other side of a piece of glass at her retirement home, which feels so alien. Seeing folks. There was one family that was next to a window that was open, and they were all outside and passing a newborn infant through the window for the grandfather, I couldn't get the look, to hold. And you ever see those history books where there's they actually have a photograph of something that feels truly alien? And it's like, man, what a weird circumstance. That's not normal. And I can only think that people 100 years from now will be like, look at that. They're all wearing their masks. They're all keeping their distance. They're passing babies around. It's history in the making. Hopefully almost official history behind us here soon.
Yeah. Yeah, Jax, you got yours, your vaccine.
Yeah, on it was Sunday. I had to go to Six Flags. A lot of my clients were making me nervous because they were saying even after the first shot, they were feeling tired and loopy and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, whatever. So I'm just ready for this. And literally all that happened was I got the shot. Felt good for the most part. Felt a little floaty around like 6 or 7 p.m., but then that went away when we were playing like Among Us on Sunday. So yeah, and then like I woke up and I felt great. Like I felt like I had the best sleep of my life after it. So yeah, that was good.
Cool. North Carolina actually moved up the dates to where everybody like over the age of 16, I think, can get their vaccine on April 7th. Like,
oh, awesome.
So yeah, me and my dad will probably get that once if we can find an appointment somewhere around the area. When Hero got his, I was kicking myself because I was like, man, I should have like signed up for that when Hero did. Because I was gonna just wait until like both me and my dad can get it at the same time. But yeah, but we'll probably get it in April then. So hopefully we'll be able to all meet up again soon.
Here's hoping.
So let's see. I guess like continuing with the Monster Hunter stuff, we can talk a bit about Monster Hunter, at least me and Hero. But before we do, if you want to ask questions, Q&A is the second portion of the show. We answer questions through Super Chat or through Twitter. We already have a lot of Super Chats that we'll be answering. So hopefully we might be able to get to Twitter questions this time. There's also a leftover Super Chat from Daily 18 from last time, so remind me of that when we get there. So Monster Hunter Rise, it's very fun. I checked my time today because I was
Don't do that.
Yeah, because I was like, yep, I've gotten a day in so far. Because I was playing it over the weekend because I had to dog sit for my mom. So I was like, well, I guess I can just play Monster Hunter while I look after these dogs. And yeah, it's even just like single player is a lot of fun hunting monsters and stuff. But then when you get to play with friends, it's just a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. It's a steep learning curve for Monster Hunter. But like I said, once you learn it, you kind of don't forget it. Because like I said, it's been 10 years since I've played, and I kind of remember, though there's still some stuff I don't remember it that well, that there's a lot of stuff.
And also new stuff.
Yeah, and new stuff.
Wirebug recovery.
Yeah, the Wirebug stuff is really fun too, because it's like, wow, I never moved this fast in Monster Hunter before.
Nice.
It's incredibly different. Like, this is Monster Hunter 1. Like, this is the movement of Monster Hunter 1. And comparatively, like, this is the movement in Monster Hunter Rise. You're moonwalking, apparently. Like...
Yeah, and, like, using the Wirebugs, you're, like, just zipping around the place like Spider-Man, so...
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the weapons are still slow, but your movement options outside of, like, you know, move startup is really fast. So
yeah, the whole thing about like Monster Hunter, at least when I first played it, is that you have to learn how to know when to attack and when to back off. That's basically the entire game. It's like, when do you attack and when do you back off from the monster so you don't get attacked?
The core of the game, like you said, is completely just spacing. But like, they've added a whole lot of extra movement options in the game since Monster Hunter 1. Monster Hunter 1 is like exclusively spacing, like the entire way through. But like, it's nice that you have a lot of more movement options now, but the core of the game still is spacing. When do I attack? How far away do I need to be? Blah, 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 all that kind of whatnot. It's still completely at the center, at the focus of the game, even with all of the additional stuff. And I'm like, thank you. Because in Monster Hunter Generations, it's like they forgot what Monster Hunter was about. They're just like, let's let you do anything. And it's like, okay, so I could just invuln do monster attacks and not have to worry about spacing whatsoever. I was like, this is the incorrect way to do this series. And then they figured it out. So
yeah, you kind of have to...
While y'all talk real fast, I'm gonna grab some water real quickly. Be right back.
When going against like a new monster, you're just trying to figure out, okay, what are the attacks that it's doing, and how can I avoid these attacks?
Yep. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of like, I took off. I forgot. The game actually tells you like when a big attack is coming. I took off the voices because I'm not crazy about that in particular. Part of the fun of Monster Hunter to me is being like,
I just left them on because they're so corny. I kind of like it.
Like, here comes the big one.
Yeah. Like, watch out! It's angry.
Yeah, I took them off, but yeah. I mean, the game is about like looking at monster tells. And then, you know, be like, oh, that's the flip, or oh, that's the ground pound, or whatever. Like, these attacks are incoming, and reacting accordingly. Which sounds so easy, but then you realize that the monster, or like your weapon attacks, have so much recovery on them that you have to plan out your attacks accordingly. And if you are caught, like, starting the swing of your sword or your hammer or whatever you're using, when it's starting its attack startup, it's like, bro, you gotta get hit. Like, you have lost this particular exchange. Yeah. Fun stuff. And Jax is over here like, why are you killing monsters? They ain't doing that to you.
Poor monster, just limping home, trying to get back to his family.
It's so funny. It's so funny listening to people play Monster Hunter. Like, oh, it's so cute. Oh my god. And you bash its face in. Like,
there was the one to Tetranodon where it was a new monster, and you said, "Oh, it's cute."
And then I proceeded to lunge at its face.
Yeah, I didn't think it was cute. I mean, I was fine with killing it.
I think it's cute. It was cute until it like. It got fat. Yeah. Monster Hunter really likes that design of monster lately. I'm like, what is that? Like,
yeah, the Tetranodon definitely looks like it's inspired by like a Kappa. But yeah, also this, I'm very surprised at how well it runs.
And looks,
yeah. Capcom, like, I don't know what kind of black magic they did to like get it working this well on the Switch. I guess it's just the versatility of the RE engine that they created. Because it's funny because before Monster Hunter World came out, Capcom was in a bit of trouble.
Capcom.
Yeah, because they weren't making that much revenue, and they were it was like there was like rumors that like Microsoft might buy them or something. But then Monster Hunter World came out and it became their best-selling game ever. So yeah, Monster Hunter saved Capcom basically.
That's my favorite narrative ever.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then they started doing really well with the Resident Evil's remakes and the games. I think because like Resident Evil 7 came out and that was a hit. And then like the Resident Evil 2 remake and the 3 remake and 8 coming out this year. So they've been doing really well with that engine that they made.
That reminds me, when I went to go buy Monster Hunter World, because I didn't pre-order it because I barely pre-order anything. I walked in the GameStop and I was like, I'm here to pick up a copy of Monster Hunter, Rise. I'm here to pick up a copy of Monster Hunter Rise. And they're like, oh, we're sold out of that. And I was like, excellent. Like, I should be sad, and I'm just like, good. I'm glad you are. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah,
and Target had its last copy that I snagged. I was like, oh, I'm so happy. Ugh.
Yeah, I got mine from Walmart because Walmart sells their games new at like $10 off. So I got it from there, and also I got a Pro controller finally after like 4 years of not having one.
The battery life, incredible.
I was surprised. It was like, I haven't even charged this thing yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't charged it since Rise has come out, and it's like at 3 out of 4 battery. I don't understand.
It has an insanely good battery life.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rise has sold like 5 million copies like globally, or shipped 5 million copies globally, and that's not even counting digital sales. So Monster Hunter is pretty mainstream now from what it's done, and then it's coming out on PC next year.
Shoutouts to mainstream Monster Hunter.
Do you think those normies saw the movie and they were like, "Oh fuck, that movie was fucking bad"?
Nobody saw the movie.
No, they did not. That movie was ass, bro.
You know how
Absolutely
normies are,
nobody
though.
saw the
Normies
movie.
might. Normies like that kind of shit. Like, do you know? I have like friends in like high school who saw the Resident Evil movies. Like, yo, man, I started playing the games because those movies are fucking awesome. Like, okay, bro. Okay, okay, bro.
Movie was so bad. The only redeeming quality of that movie is that the feline did like they cooked. They cooked like they did in the games.
There's a feline in that movie?
Yeah, they did a cute little cook sequence. I was like, oh my god, thank you. Just any points to this movie at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There was like no supernatural anything like happening, and then out of nowhere somebody pulls out dual blades and then it just goes, I don't know, you don't know what demon mode is, but like they like put their dual blades together and they just like started charging red and whatnot. I was like, is no one gonna explain that? We're just gonna do that after like no magic whatsoever. Like that movie was really bad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Rise. After I've, I guess, had my fill with it or whatever, I might go back and play World, because though I don't know if World will feel very different because the wire bug stuff.
World feels. I'm surprised I'm saying this. World feels more traditional Monster Hunter than Rise does.
Really?
Rise added a whole bunch of stuff that just feels like an extension of World. So World feels older than Rise does, which it is, but like I just wasn't expecting it. I expected Rise to be way more old school than World.
Okay.
But World has a whole bunch of quality of life stuff you'll feel right at home, just without wire bugs.
All right. So yeah, Monster Hunter Rise. If you've played it, tell us what you think in the chat. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't played a Monster Hunter before, like I said, it's a learning curve, but once you get past that learning curve, it's a lot of fun.
I feel like they made the game specifically for people who have not played Monster Hunter before. There are tutorials for every single thing, except for like Superman diving and wire bug recovery.
Yeah. There's literally like, I think literally hundreds of pages of of things in the game that tell you that explains everything.
Too many. I was like, I know. I played the game before. I know. But I still did read everything.
All right. Next thing. Let's talk about DuckTales.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll message Saber when we're done with that. So yeah, DuckTales. Woohoo. I'm gonna put up a spoiler tag for anybody who has not seen the finale. So I'll put that spoiler tag up. And
yeah, the Street Sharks and Extreme Dinosaurs teamed up and it's fucking hype, man. It's fucking cool, dude. Bro.
So anybody who has not seen the finale, just mute the stream for right now, while I have the spoiler tag up, and then you can unmute it when we're done. Well, when it goes down. All right. So DuckTales finale. It was an hour and 6 minutes long. So basically a movie finale.
Jeez.
Yeah. Because it was like 66 minutes, basically 3 22-minute episodes.
Right. Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Very good. I enjoyed it. It was a nice wrap up to the series. One of the most recommendable series I've ever watched.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Shippers, fuck you, shippers. Fuck all ya. Y'all can burn.
Yeah. So
if you're shipping these children, yeah.
You.
Yeah. So these the big thing in the finale was finding out who Webby was, because that was basically what this finale was about. Is finding out where she came from. That she's not really Miss Beakley's granddaughter. And that she is a clone of Scrooge. Yeah.
Clone Scrooge. Yeah, that was crazy. Like I honestly had no idea where they were going with that, so it caught me by surprise. And I always appreciate when a show can catch me off guard like that. So that was really cool. The whole thing with like her clones too. Like I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how they're gonna play into this and like where they come from. So like that was cool as well. And then I like seeing all the characters back, like for one final hurrah.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though like
all of them. Like,
Oh yeah, and they did a lot of like references to
I live again.
yeah, they did the Gargoyles reference. Apparently April, May, and June are references to Daisy's nieces or whatever.
Oh
Yeah,
I didn't know
like that was what that was a reference to.
Oh damn! I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
appreciate it.
May and June were clones of Webby, which were like, you know, a clone of a clone.
Yeah, so they can't hook up with any of them. Shit, man, that's some bullshit.
they're your sisters.
Yeah.
I appreciated the finale story and everything. Obviously, Ducktales is very good at telling stories, and I think like the number one thing I appreciated from the finale was just since they included so many characters, and the pacing I thought was fantastic for having that many characters in it. That's an insane task.
Right.
Fulfill. But I feel like it delivered. Thanks, Ducktales. Very good at delivering.
Right.
Strangely enough, though, although all of that was fantastic, the most enjoyable part to me is just, the references and the comedy. Those are the things I remember more so than the story. I remember the story because it's excellent, but, like Jax's favorite moment is also my favorite moment. It's like, they do things here, they're a hero. They can't we're children.
Yeah. That's so good. It's so good.
That's the kind of stuff I remember. Is just like little one-off things here and there. And the reference to the gargoyle reference was... I'm not as into it as Jax is, but it was still hype. Like, how the gargoyles you are.
Because it was just so good because it was just like once I saw like a stone statue being voiced by Keith David, and then like hearing the iconic line, I was just like, "Shut up! No, you didn't." And then I thought that was gonna be it, that one-off joke, but it's like, "Hey, hold this." I was like, "Oh my god, it was so good! It was so good." Again, like the only thing. I was a bit like, I wanted a bit more of, but again, like this is what I'll take. I think it was a great finale. I think it was good. I really wanted like the Nega Duck from season 2 to make an appearance because he had that whole episode with the thing. I really wanted him to be. Apparently, he was supposed to be in some the episode with Darkwing Duck, that hour special, like Let's Get Dangerous, but some BS behind the scenes like kept that from happening. And then what else was it? One thing I'm really shocked by, like besides the fact they murdered people on screen, which is like, oh, you got balls to do that. Okay, I see you. Was the fact that there was this bad guy in the original DuckTales called El Capitan, who was this dog who was like,
yeah. He was like in the premiere of DuckTales.
Was he in the show at all?
I don't
the 2017.
The funny thing is that I think there was like a vision of him in. When what was the vulture's name?
Bradford.
Yeah, when he was talking about the different chaos going on in the world, when he shows the images, I think you see an image of what looks like Capitan. Because I saw that, I was like, wait, is that him?
Because I just remember him because he was like such a like antagonist where I was just like, oh, I thought you would have somehow come back like building up to him or something like that, but I was like, oh, okay, fine, I guess no go in this, which was good. I mean, I don't mind it. Like Bradford like had a like freaking anime villain final finale, so that was an interesting watch. And I mean, me and Hero and Pele have said this like on a lot of other podcasts, like it's damn near a perfect show. Like there's only one episode I personally don't like, and me and Hero just don't care for. It's not even that bad, but we just don't care for it. Pele doesn't like 2, and then it's just like that's still like out of 68 episodes. Like how many shows can you say like, literally every episode?
Ryan says that he was mentioned once in the first episode.
Really?
So he was mentioned. 16th episode. Okay. So he was mentioned, but I don't think he showed up.
Oh man, I wanted to see him. Yeah,
look at this dude.
Look at this dude.
With his pipe.
Yeah.
But DuckTales. The only thing that I guess I would have added more is like I guess I would have wanted some kind of epilogue. And I guess
Same.
the thing is, like, Ponies kind of spoiled me with that, having
Yeah,
their
they did.
epilogue. So I'm like, I kind of expect that with everything now.
No, I agree 1,000% on that. I think every show should have an epilogue because, like, again, I said this with, like, DBZ. Like, honestly, to me, the perfect DBZ ending is this filler episode called "He's Always Late," and it's about Goku like taking care of these pterodactyl eggs, but every single one of his friends are at this party, and they're like, "Man, he's always late. He always does this stuff." And then, like, at the very end, he shows up, and all of them together, and it's just like that was beautiful. That was a great epilogue episode, and then they fucked it up with all the other stuff. But yeah, it was just. Yeah, like I love epilogues. I think every show should have an epilogue just to show what happened with the characters. It doesn't have to be a time skip. It could just be like them living a nice, wholesome slice of life episode. Like that'd be cool. But yeah, I love it.
Also, just a random point. Is Heron? Heron's a little freaky deaky, isn't she? Like Bradford killed her, and she's like, "Oh, you bad boy."
How villainous. Well, she was like trying to get him to be like a villain, admit that he was a villain the entire way. It's like, no, I'm not a villain. I'm a businessman. Blah 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 blah. And she was like all the way through. It's like, nah, we're villains. Come on, come on, be a bad boy. Come on, you know you want to. And it's just like, oh, how villainous, Bradford. Bam.
Yeah.
Took it. Yeah, that was good.
All right. Yeah, so DuckTales, the finale is actually going to be on, or all season 3 is going to be on Disney Plus at the end of the month. I'll remove the spoiler tag now. So yeah, all of season 3 is going to be on Disney Plus at the end of the month. And also they're doing a podcast now, which the first episode came out today.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a podcast with the original cast, talking about the different adventures that they've been going on or whatever. So if there's any kind of epilogue, it would be that, I guess. So I haven't checked it out.
Is it the actors? Is it the actors?
Yes,
just
the actors acting out as the characters.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought you were just saying like the actors were talking about like, oh yeah, the show was great. We did all this and blah. I was like, okay, that's cool though. That's cool that they're having adventures like with the characters.
Yeah, the end of next month. That's what I meant, Ryan. Because I mean, it's so close to April right now, so I think it's April.
Yeah, 2 days.
All right, is Saber there?
Message Saber.
Yeah, he's got his pipe in.
All right. Let's see. The next thing. Let's talk about the Snyder Cut.
That's for y'all to do.
Well, I wanted to say nice things about it before they got all stupid in their business.
We need Saber back in here.
Saber.
He's just staring. He's just staring at the screen.
Saber.
Come here.
Why are we doing the anime version?
I don't know. I was doing this.
Which one are we doing? Yeah, well, here we go. Hero, do the anime version. Paleo, do the normal version.
I don't know.
I mean, I messaged him. I mean,
Yeah, he did. He's staring right at his computer. Just try again.
Yeah, do it.
Saber!
Oh, he's on D&D. That's why. Jesus.
Oh, it doesn't message him like that when he's on D&D? I had no idea that was the thing.
Just text the boy.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I'll just
text the boy.
We done looking at you.
With his stupid pipe in your face.
You there?
Pipe, man.
No, he's not there. Is there case cracked?
I DM'd him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it pissed me off because I thought my case cracked, but it was actually my phone. And I was like, what the fuck? When did this happen? I was like, when did this happen? Like, I literally don't remember it happening. And I was just like, I literally thought it was my case for the longest time. I was like, no, it's your phone. I'm like, God damn it. Fucking bullshit. Whatever.
Man, he's just staring at the screen too. Like,
I'll call him on. You want me to call him?
Yeah. Just call him.
Hey Siri, call Saber Spark. No, whatever. Yeah, Saber. I'll call him.
Do you have your phone on ring or do you leave your phone on silent? Or
I vibrate most of the time because I work.
It feels like no one has their phone on ring anymore. Am I just like actually an old man?
When I have it on ring, it annoys me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have it on vibrate.
He's so into it. Is he near?
Like, he knows that he's on a podcast, right? Like, yeah, but I leave my phone on me because, like,
Is his phone there on his desk?
It should
Oh my
be.
God.
It should be.
Here, let me try calling him.
Yeah, do that.
He's like, he saw this Jax is like, I don't want to answer.
Or press 1
Fuck
for
you.
more. To call that number, press 5.
Hey, you know you're on a stream, and we're looking at you play what D&D with your
No,
like
it's probably
pipe and
Warhammer.
Warhammer. Hey man, hey, pick up. We're all looking at you right now. There you go.
thank you, right? I'm
there?
gonna water while you talk about Snyder.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we were trying to get your attention.
Hmm.
I'm here. Hello.
We're going to talk about the Snyder Cut now.
Oh.
Oh. See, I wanted to say nice things, but the people started acting like stupid fools. So it's just like, okay, guys, all you had to do was be chill. Like, you just had to be chill. It's like, no, we're mad at WB because they should have done. It's like, all right, shut the fuck up. And like, really don't. Like, honestly, it's affected how I want to say what I want because it's just like,
Yeah, because
God,
like because a couple days ago I would have said, you know what, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was better than the 2017 cut. It actually developed the characters. It actually gave
Cyborg.
like time for like the Flash and Cyborg.
yeah, and you felt bad for Steppenwolf. Fucking
Yeah.
Zuko ass motherfucker. Yeah.
Some of actually like looks better too.
Yeah, exactly. With his puppy dog ass face. Like, oh, I need to get 50,000 worlds.
50,000 worlds.
Still, the great one, 50,000. Oh, no, fuck, man. Just kill me out. So shit. Yeah. I mean, honestly, okay, that aside, let me say this. 4 hours didn't feel like 4 hours in my opinion. Like, okay, for example, like Wonder Woman 84, that shit was painful. That felt like that was 2 hours and that was painful.
Wasn't that like 2.5 hours?
Yeah, some bullshit like that. And it was just like I kept losing interest. This one, I think what helped that I had such low expectations that when I started getting surprised, I was like, huh, okay, yeah, this isn't bad.
It's also it's separated into parts. So it doesn't seem as long because there's like, okay, there's like this section. It was like I kind of get the idea of what they're going for this section. The only thing I would say that was not really necessary is the epilogue part.
Yeah, the epilogue was some bullshit. And then like all right, even though like I know Zack Snyder loves slow motion, there are like some scenes where I'm just like, bro, like what the fuck? Like, oh my god, it's just like ridiculous. Like, come on, dude. And it's like, dude, like you don't have to do this. You don't have to like make everything slow motion. It was just like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But I digress. It was for the most part pretty good.
Yeah, for the most part pretty good. What do you think, Saber?
It was fine. I talk about a logistical nightmare of Warner Brothers wanting to be Marvel, not really sure what they're doing with their people love DC to a fault. And I mean, as we all know, we were quite put off by the obnoxious behavior of these folks on Twitter and whatnot of the Snyder Cut will prevail. And I will gladly eat crow and say that the film was an improvement. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I find the entire logistical mess of, because you look at Disney, you ever see that one meme where it has a little girl drawing the outline of a cat on a piece of paper with a crayon, and the cat's like, what the hell is happening? And the cat gets up and the outline's all like bastardized and awful. Like, obviously it's like the cat was Marvel's original view, and then the outlines what what Warner and DC wanted, and kind of got, not really. They rushed into it. There's a certain je ne sais quoi that was missing with DC. And here's the funny thing. I think streaming could give them a second life, a second chance, perhaps. But my God, they got to get their shit checked because, like, the biggest sin of the DC universe is how much it's so misguided in tone and direction and everything. There's a hit, there's a miss, it's all over the place. The only time where it's actually shows any really competency is animated, as we all know. So, like the Harley Quinn show, love it.
Yeah, Harley Quinn show is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Though even like past DC animated shows, like I was telling Jax, there's like a whole list of all of the DC animated universe from the 90s forward, to like the ending of like Justice League Unlimited, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So like they had a universe and like a way to go off of that, but they just didn't follow it.
No, like we've talked about this so many times before, though. It's just like if Superman Returns was a solid movie, like they said, like, okay, no, this is not going to be its own. The Batman Begins is his own thing. Superman Returns is his own thing. And bullshit. Like if Superman Returns was as great as freaking Batman Begins in The Dark Knight, they would have had that. They would have beat Marvel by a substantial margin with this stuff. But the problem with them is they saw how great Marvel was and they're like, damn, let's freaking, we have to catch up. We got to throw this in there. We got to have Batman in the next Superman movie. We got to throw Wonder Woman in there too. We've got to throw one of the most final villains ever, Doomsday, in there, make it like freaking traumatic. And it's just like, first off, your Superman is gloomy and freaking like this asshole in some certain senses. Like, for instance, in the movie when he's like beating the shit out of Steppenwolf, it's like, dude, he's enjoying it. Like you see him like beating and so like enjoying it. It's just like, okay, man. Like I get like if you were like pissed off at him, but it was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then like, all these DC live action, like besides Shazam was pretty decent. I like Shazam a lot. There's a lot of stuff in Shazam I really liked. But yeah, like what Paleo was saying earlier, like the whole thing with the DC anime universe, that is literally your perfect blueprint to do these shows. Like the best Superman thing out right now is that Superman and Lois show on the CW. Like they actually make Superman lovable. They make him careable, but you see him as a person like, oh, I'm a parent of a child who's like, pretty cool. And then a child who has depression, who has like these bipolar disorders, and his superpowers will probably develop soon. So it's just like, I have to deal with this, and I also have to save the world, and I'm getting fired from my job and doing all this stuff. And it's just like, and sometimes you're just like, damn, Superman, but like that show does a really good job with him. And so like, I think for me, because there is like this multiverse, because they do this thing with the multiverse, like they freaking had this Flash from this movie meet the Flash from the CW, and so all this other stuff. So it's just like I think they're pretty much doing that multiverse thing again, where it's like we all have a different thing. So if this doesn't work for you, you can always go over here. So again, like for me, this Superman and this whole Justice League, while I don't think it's perfect, I'm like, okay, well, I have like a good version of that. Like for instance, Cyborg is on Doom Patrol as well. And Doom Patrol is a really good show. Like Doom Patrol, highly recommend it to anyone if you're just interested in a good comedy show and stuff like that. Brendan Fraser's on it, by the way. Love that guy. Miss that guy. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. That's my piece on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, the things like, the Snyder Cut is better, but it's like now fans are like, no, we want you to restore the Snyderverse. It's like, well, you give them an edge. They want it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they started going after Godzilla versus Kong, and it's like, what do you?
That movie's not even out yet.
Yeah, and no, it's so stupid. It's just like, yeah, well, why are they promoting this bullshit? Because WB should be focusing on all this stuff that on this entire Snyderverse because of this, because he got robbed. And it's just like, dude, just take your win and go away. Like, that's it. Just take your win. Like, it's just like, what about the Ares cut? Now, the thing with like, I'm not gonna talk shit about like the Suicide Squad thing, even though like there's a bunch of cholo like Joker stuff that they always talk about, like how they made him a certain way. But it's like, oh man, I feel like I'm just at that point where I'm sort of fed up with it, because I understand where they're coming from for the Ares cut. Because like there's a lot of stuff you hear about, like, oh, they cut this out, they cut this out, they made this like the studio edited it, and it's just like you hear the backstory of what they did, and it's just like, fuck. fuck, dude, that's terrible. That's like freaking awful. But yeah, it's I really see. I'm so indifferent because it's just like I don't want to reward rabid fans, you know? Like, it's just, I don't want to reward them for being like pieces of shit. It's just like, no, don't like fucking spam Godzilla versus Kong, which is getting good reviews, which makes me more excited for it because like people like, yeah, like Godzilla King of Monsters got shit reviews and me and Saber love that movie. Me and Tommy love that movie. It's just like, yeah, it's,
from one broken franchise to another. Leave us alone.
Yeah, just leave us alone. Like, what do we do to you? Just leave us alone. Just go sit over there, enjoy your Snyder Cut, watch it as many times you want. It's 4 hours, all right? You should be entertained. Right. It's just like, fuck, dude. I can't take it.
The audacity of them to go after Godzilla versus Kong. It's like, what do you gain from putting this down, you idiots? And you just make yourselves look stupid. I know it's not all of them, but the fact that there's enough to notice, it's kind of shocking. Like, really? This is the thing? Okay.
So speaking of the DC stuff, any of you guys see the Suicide Squad trailer that came out?
Yes! Oh my god. Do you know how obsessed I am with King Shark? And my Street Shark
looks great.
He looks so good. And Sylvester Stallone is voicing him. It's so perfect. It's just like, and maybe I'll follow it, maybe I won't. Where's King Walker? You know, it's just, I love it. It's so good. I'm excited for that movie just for him alone. And the fact they put in that freaking starfish kaiju from the comic books, I was just like, they did fucking not. I was just like, bro, like that was crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters because it's also coming to HBO Max, like all the Warner Brothers movies this year. But it's coming out in August, so I might see it in theaters. We'll see.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm getting for that. Is for theater stuff. I was just like, what was it? Oh, yeah. I was talking to you about Godzilla versus Kong because my theater recently opened up, and I was just like, I wish I had my other vaccine. And I was just like, it'll probably still be in theater. Yeah, it's still going to be in theaters right then. It's just like
theaters by the time you get your second shot.
Yeah. So it's just like I want it to be. I really hope I enjoy it like online. And so like if I can go see it because like all the D-box seats were like empty when I looked at it. I was like, oh yeah, it's completely empty. I was like,
dude,
fuck.
I'm with you. It's tempting. Man. For the same thing in my town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But moving over from the DC stuff, Falcon and Winter Soldier premiered. Saber actually watched this with us. At least the first episode.
I was tuning out.
Watch for a second.
Go off, Queen. I don't care.
Go off, Queen.
So, Jax, you said like yesterday when we were talking, or the day before, you said you hadn't seen the second episode, but have you seen it yet?
I watched it.
Okay,
yeah, I watched it literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you know what comment I'm talking about then.
Oh yeah, the whole thing is like, are you Black Falcon? Like, what? It's like, why? No, why? It's just Falcon, kid. And it's just like, no, I heard from people, you the Black Falcon.
It's like, no, my dad said you were Black Falcon.
And it's just like, so what are you, kid? Like, would you be Black Kid? It's just like, what? No. That was good. That had me cracking up. That was solid. Yeah, like I'm enjoying it. Again, like it's only 6 episodes, so they're doing a lot like to get in there. So like that whole thing with like US
it's like twice as long as WandaVision is. So
yeah, exactly. Like WandaVision had more breathe time. I won't say anything for people who haven't seen WandaVision yet, but like it's like WandaVision had like a lot of breathing room with stuff.
Yeah,
like
WandaVision also had a reason to be shorter because of the sitcom thing.
Exactly.
This is more like, oh yeah, it's like an hour-long TV show.
Yeah, it's an hour-long TV show, only 6 episodes, so it's like each episode has to have impact. Like they're really. I know a bunch of those freaking like good old boys are gonna be upset, like, why are they putting this politics in this fucking show? I just want to see fucking because they did that big time in the second episode, and I was just like, oof. I know like people are gonna do that. I liked it because I generally liked it as just a story plot point.
It's so weird because like this was supposed to come out last year. Imagine like It's supposed
Oh,
to come out
dude.
last year.
I know. That's freaking
It would
crazy.
have gone very well, obviously.
Yeah. No, it would have
Yeah.
been blown up. It would have been like a
Yeah.
masterpiece. Like people would have been like calling this the second Black Panther thing just from how it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so far I'm liking it. I'll have to wait to see like the impact of it, because there's a certain villain that we haven't really seen yet. So we'll see him soon, but I'm enjoying it. So I guess I'll just keep watching until the end.
Exactly. I mean, it's only 4 episodes left. It's
Yeah.
like literally at the end of April, it's gonna be done.
Right.
So it's just like, yeah, whatever. So I'll watch it,
All right.
enjoy it.
So next
But
thing,
it is gonna be one of those shows.
next thing
I
is
will say
something
this.
that Hero actually watched with us, because we were like, hey, you want to watch with us? And he did.
It was
So
really good. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm happy you guys liked it. Like to me, okay, so we're talking about Invincible now. So like
Yeah.
I've been a fan of like the graphic novel for like since 2014 for myself. And so like I always like was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm wondering if they're ever gonna do a series about this because it's like really interesting. Like it's still going on, I believe, or I'm not sure, but I remember I read like a lot of it. And I was just like so fascinated how they're going to do it. So I was like, oh, Pele, we def got to watch this together. And then Hero joined us. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. So Saber, if you haven't watched it yet, if you like the boys, you'll definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I'll tune out.
No, I'm not gonna spoil anything about it. I'm just gonna say, as someone who loves this comic book, they did a lot of justice to what the comic book is, because like the comic book is presented in a way. There's only a couple changes, but I think the changes they did so far weren't like mind blowing, and it makes sense because the reason there's certain changes happen so fast is because like I don't know if they're getting a second season, or they're probably waiting to see if they get a second season. So there's a lot of stuff where it's like you have to captivate the audience as soon as possible.
I think since the boys did so well on Amazon Prime, it's I think that's why they went with this. It was like, oh yeah, let's get this because it has very similar like gritty feel that the boys has. Except for this is an animated show.
Yeah.
So
honestly, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so think of like a DC animated show from back in the day in the 90s and 2000s, and make it adult.
Pretty much exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a problem. Like, because even Corey mentioned this on Double Toasted, where it's like, if you were to watch this show and just like have it on the ground, it looks like freaking like one of those DCAU shows, as Paleo said. So like, if your kid was watching it, it's just like, oh wow, this is good, and then like, what the? So
yeah, blood and guts everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, you definitely need to watch your kids to make sure they're not watching this by themselves. Yeah, watching this. Like, oh, but like that's why I love it. I love it because the comic book actually, if you read the comic book, the first few issues feel like a typical Spider-Man storyline where it's just like, oh, this is just an interesting story. And then like literally you flip the page and it's just like, no, you Hero, you remember when we were at BronyCon 2017 and you were reading that like Pokemon looking book and then you like flip the page?
Yeah.
And it was just like, what the? Yeah, it's literally that. That is literally how it happened in the comic book. And I was just like, what the fuck? Gee,
I was like, oh, look at this cute little Pokemon ass book. I was like, oh my god, everyone's guts are everywhere. Oh my god. How did this happen this way?
It's so terrible. It's like, how?
But yeah, it's a good show. It has 3 episodes out so far.
And they're all an hour long.
Yeah, which is interesting. I was like, wow, this is like an hour-long animated show? That rarely happens.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, when we were watching it, I was just like, what the? Why is this an hour?
Yeah, because like, I
okay,
thought it would just be for the first episode, but like, all of them are an hour long. I was like, oh, this... I don't know any other animated show that's like that long.
The last one I can think of is like, the last one I can think of was like Spawn, HBO Spawn, but that was years ago.
Yeah.
Like that came out years ago. Yeah, so I don't know.
But yes, Saber, if you like the boys, you'll like this.
I think I've heard of this before, but yeah, I need to look into it. Sounds
no,
interesting.
definitely, it is really good. Saber.
When did the next episode come out though?
Friday.
Oh,
Yeah, it's every
just like
Friday.
went out. Like
Yeah.
a one episode Good Friday deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first put the
Good.
first 3 episodes. So it was good.
Good. That's good information.
All right. Let's see. Go on to the news here since we're done with actually trailers. Let's see. I have not actually seen this trailer for Bird Girl yet, but I did see the trailer for Arlo and the Alligator Boy, which comes out in like 2 weeks.
Is it a movie or a show? Like I don't
It's both.
know.
It's starting with a movie,
Okay.
and there's going to be a show.
Oh, okay.
So like Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Actually,
Arlo.
kinda, exactly.
Yeah, Arlo the Alligator Boy. It's a musical, and the music sounds really good. So I will most definitely do a review of that when it comes out.
Animation looks really good. Looks fluid as hell. And very pretty with color. Bizarre character designs, but I think it's going to weave well into the story.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, Toodles is excited about it.
Yeah. And
Exactly,
then
Sarah,
there's Bird Girl, which is a show coming out. That's coming out on. Oh, that's right. That's what Bird Girl was. I was like, Bird Girl. What was that? It's a spinoff of Harvey Birdman, where Bird Girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bird
Girl from
it's where Bird Girl is like the new like owner of the law firm. So I think that'll be really great because Harvey Birdman was always really fun.
So it's gonna be like a comedy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Then we got some news here. So Cruella and Black Widow, they're going to be releasing in theaters and Disney Plus for premiere
for
access.
$30. Some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, that needs to quit with the quickness, honestly.
Yeah, though they're also
Like-
they're also pushed back. I let's see what the dates were here because I believe Black Widow was pushed back to July. Because I think they really want people to go back to theaters for a Marvel movie. And then Cruella is for May 28th.
Man, the Cruella looks so dumb.
It does. But then the weird thing is like Luca is going to be on Disney Plus for free.
It's like which one is it? Which do you want?
And apparently people at Pixar, like employees at Pixar, feel kind of bad about it. They feel gypped. They're like, we're not even going to theaters. What the hell? So the
I question that. I do.
Yeah.
About like the authenticity of that claim. Because I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. This is a brand new landscape with streaming, but you think for them they'd be fine with it? Because why would Disney treat Pixar badly? Pixar makes more money than Disney films, so not always, but
not always.
They're like, hey, we got you with.
It was like their last film was Onward. Remember? That was in theaters.
Let's be real here. Disney films tend to have a bit more soul in their production. So sorry, I had my chocolate. I laughed. There we go. But yeah, they do. So anyways, that's probably why they're like, oh, more people need to see the shit, even though that's not the case at all. They're just like, we're gonna put this black shit on.
That's interesting.
Wait, excuse me?
No, did I say that in the mic? Oh my god.
I wonder if Disney's like, give me Cars 4 and what's his name? The guy who's in charge of Pixar and the other lady are like, nah, we're making art.
What?
They're like, damn.
Pete Doctor.
Pete Doctor, and there's a lady who's also in charge. There's a joint partnership, I thought.
Yeah. It's her. It's the lady who wrote
Lee. No, I forget exactly.
I'm sure Ryan will tell us.
Yes, he will. That's interesting though. I want to see more information about that though. It feels too lacking because you'd think that if it's like, hey, you're an artist, you're being paid to make a movie, more people get to see it. Like, I wonder if Disney Plus is using
Jennifer
Pixar's
Lee.
brand.
Yeah, Jennifer Lee is running the Disney Animation Studios. Not Pixar. Pixar is being run by Pete Doctor. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Jennifer Lee is the co-director of Frozen and Frozen 2. Yeah, because I could have sworn that like she was had something to do with Frozen. But in other Disney Plus news, they're going to add the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
Yeah, the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. Fuck you. Clone Wars is actually a good show, so I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just like,
and they're also going to add the Ewoks movies.
Ooh,
are they going to add droids too?
Remember
that animated short droids?
Yeah, I do remember that, and also the
Yeah.
the Ewoks cartoon, and also the animated holiday special segment. Not the entire holiday special, just that animated segment from it.
Oh, with Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna
that
be.
was done by Nirvana, the guys who do rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
I
Nice.
believe. I believe. I might be mistaken.
Mm.
Some more Disney Plus news. Apparently, they're going to make a TV series based on National Treasure. Is
The Nick Cage movie?
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Shit,
It-
okay.
it's a reimagining though, so Nicolas Cage is probably not going to be in it.
Oh, it's one of those
killing
shows.
things that he's too busy killing animatronics. And
Right?
that movie.
Like, there's a new Mighty Ducks show with the guy from the original movies. So I was just like,
Dude, that's Cobra Kai nonsense. Come on.
yeah, no, yeah, it's weird. Like, I saw it like on literally today. I was like scrolling.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
like,
right.
What
Yeah,
is this?
that came out.
What? Like, I have no idea what it is. Like, where is it? Let me find
Yeah,
it.
it's called like Mighty Ducks something.
Mighty Ducks Cobra
Mighty Ducks
Kai.
give no fucks.
There it is. Mighty Ducks
give
Game
no fucks.
Changers.
He's never referred to the Mighty Ducks as the Mighty Cucks. I hate it so much.
Sports
Oh, is
drama.
that not what you said? I could have sworn that is what you said.
No, he said the Mighty Ducks give no fucks.
I thought you said the Mighty Cucks give no fucks.
You pervert, hero. You are calling me the bad
You brought this
one.
upon yourself,
Yeah, I
hero.
had this on myself, I guess. Yeah.
The losing team, the Mighty Cucks. We like to lose.
Where is that guy?
Oh
The
god,
Mighty
I just
Cucks.
gave him ammo.
The Mighty
you just
Cucks.
you just gave me the name of this episode.
No!
Be careful,
won't
YouTube
mind.
might like that. Yeah, right.
But you see you X.
Don't worry,
Spell
my
with an
the
X.
podcast channel isn't even monetized yet.
Oh. Where
Oh
is
my
it?
God.
Where is that guy? This is the guy from the original, right? Where is he at? Or they tried to do some Avengers shit with him. Where are you?
Hey, you got Thanos snapped.
Yeah.
But while Jax is looking for that, apparently
There he is.
Oh, you found him?
There he is.
Yeah, I can
Where is
barely. Here, I'll make Jax big here. Yeah, it's
Where
still
is he?
blurry. I can barely see it.
he? Come on, you bitch. Play. Play. Man, they should reboot that damn Mighty Ducks cartoon. There he is.
Okay, yeah.
So where are the kids from the original? This is weird.
Moving on. CBS
Okay, moving on.
Studios is developing an animated reboot of Everybody Hates Chris.
Reboot. Oh, I loved everybody.
I never known what that show is, actually. I was like,
It was
is
actually real. It was a good show.
I was like, is it like Everyone Loves Raymond, but just everyone hates Chris instead?
Yeah, it was basically the telling of Chris Rock as a little kid, and
Uh-huh.
he was just talking about how everything in his life was fucked up, like how his bullies were,
Yeah.
how like his mom was always on him, how his brother was perfect, how his sister was annoying, how things like pretty much the whole premise was like things would go his way for most episode, then the end of the episode it would turn to shit, and then like at the end it would always have this line,
Mhm.
"Everybody hates Chris," because he always fucked up. So damn, it's just it was sad.
So we're gonna
It was
get-
funny though. It was really
animated-
funny. It was a good show.
Yeah, so we're gonna get an animated reboot of a sitcom from the 2000s.
Why not?
Speaking of reboots, or I guess in this case a revival, the producer of King of the Hill, Brent Forsyth, says a revival is being negotiated.
So what, like with Bobby, like as an adult or some shit?
Yeah,
or is it, like a
would
complete
would
reboot?
be like
Say
like
they're not
like a
that.
decade or so after the finale of the original.
I just feel you can't capture that magic, and I mentioned this on Twitter because someone's like, I wonder how they'd handle the Trump thing. And I'm like, I'm so fucking sick of this. Why does it have to be a barometer for everything? Like, oh, because like King of the Hill, something I really appreciate about it is its timelessness, where you've got like George Bush Jr. and Jimmy Carter in it, but it never felt like the show had an agenda. It's smart enough to take jabs, but not to take a side. And I'm not saying it has to be necessarily bipartisan, but like there was something that was nice about it versus nowadays where it's either one extreme or the other. And when you have a show like King of the Hill with its cast, it feels organic. Like, no, Hank never felt like he's thumping around, despite his very conservative demeanor, despite his very Texan ways. He's actually like got character and integrity and conviction, and that's where Bobby's a good foil for him, because he's like, no, Bobby actually brings me around. I see how Bobby's got something here going on, or how Bobby comes around, learns from Hank, and everybody hates Peggy. But I don't know. It was such a well-written show, and I'm afraid of it being its legacy being
tarnished.
Tarnished. That's a better word.
Right.
Because it's like I'd rather have this, because the finale for King of the Hill was so simple. It's just them grilling in the backyard, inviting some friends over, show over, pan out, past the water tower, the same one we panned towards when the show was first premiered. So it's like, leave it alone. If you don't feel confident in this, you don't have the same team that knows what it's doing with good leadership.
Yeah.
And
that's why it's still like in negotiations right now. It's not like anything official going on.
How much weight do you think Mike Judge has in all of this?
I don't know.
Concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Concerned.
Ponies G4 came back and they just like reopened the book again. It's like, you closed it. You closed the book. Damn.
You had 9 seasons of closing that damn book.
Right. Yeah, G5 starts out with them like, what if? And like, recovering, like pushing it back open.
Like, well, close that book. That book closed for the rest of my life.
Henceforth, Celestia. Nah, Ponies doesn't feel. I mean, like, it's Ponies. It's always like constantly.
Ponies is a franchise. Like
King of the Hill's not. Have you all ever seen the pitch that Mike Judge did for King of the Hill? It was brilliant.
Yeah, I have seen it.
I love it. For those who don't know, he basically worked with a small studio to just have Hank being like, "Hello, Fox executives. This is my family, Bobby."
I remember that.
Yeah, it's all black and white pencil drawings, or pencil. You got like the Dale and Bill and Boomhauer, and at this part where Hank's like, "That's Luann. The way she dressed would be good for the ratings."
I remember that. That was good.
It was outstanding, because it's like, what a way to sell your show. Apparently Fox is like, get in here, like, you're good, like, this is perfect. Because like when you have like The Simpsons and you had a lot of folks rushing to be the next Simpsons, King of the Hill wasn't The Simpsons. It was such a unique other adult animated show with its own like personality and great stories and flavor, where it's like
I think that's why it ran so long compared to other sitcoms that were trying to be The Simpsons at the time.
Family Guy,
like
was
even Family Guy. Yeah, Family Guy was trying to be The Simpsons, but the only reason it came back was because of Adult Swim.
Yeah, literally Adult Swim and DVD sales.
Yeah.
That would be that'd be an interesting video, how Adult Swim saved Family Guy.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, because it's pretty interesting. Because I remember, I remember being like there when they were doing that, because like it was literally they kept replaying the first 2 seasons of Family Guy. Because I remember prior to that, I had only seen Family Guy briefly, like on Fox. So I was like, what was that show I used to see? Oh, whatever. I guess it wasn't then like anything big. So like then it started playing on Adult Swim, and I was just like, oh my God, this is freaking hilarious. And so like when I was watching, and then it was just like, I need the DVD for this. And so my mom got it for my birthday, and then like I just rewatched it over and over.
Yeah. My brother did the same thing. Family Guy, Adult Swim was one of the most unique, like, it's not blocks, thank you, ever made. And it came, there's certain things that arrive when like it's just so ripe to cultivate for a generation. To have the 90s kids grow up and start to become edgy 2000 kids And Adult Swim was like, hey, like, we're here to help. And here's the more risque and spicy content. And I remember like, bum, 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 bum. And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
turn down the volume, mom might hear. You know, she thinks it's Nick and Night.
Yeah.
Right. So,
All kids out of the pool.
When Family Guy's airing on Adult Swim, I'm like, why did this show get kicked from Fox? It's great. Good shit, man. Good shit.
Remember when they like played the episode that were banned from Fox?
Yeah,
They're just like, oh yeah, we can't play this one.
The Jewish one.
The Jewish one.
Yeah, I guess they thought it was anti-Semite, which I mean could be argued, but you know it's a comedy show, so it's trying to take the piss out of everybody.
Right.
That being said, yeah, I can see why folks might be upset at that one.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's funny to think like there's so many like early Family Guys and I was like, how did you get away with that? But then like I remember like, oh yeah, Drawn Together was going on the same time too, and Drawn Together. That is
Actually, I have a question for you. Did Drawn Together, because I want to do a video about it here soon. I know it's got that title thrown around of like one of the most offensive things on television, but wasn't it like initially like, oh, that's pretty edgy, and then it doubled down on it where it's like, what the fuck happened? Like, you guys
okay.
are super-
I rewatched Drawn Together more than I care to admit because the humor is fucked up and it makes me laugh. All right, like it's just one of those shows where I'm just like, this is just so wrong. Like it just cracks me up. So what happens is like in the first season, pretty much the humor it was edgy. Like it was edgier than South Park and other stuff. It was like pretty like it was not PC at all. And then in the second season and third season, they just lost their shit. They were just like, yeah, we're just gonna say anything we want.
Because like the first season, because like the whole concept of the show is like, oh, there's like these different characters from these different animated properties going together. It's like there's like a Disney princess, there's like a Flash cartoon, there's a Pokemon, there's Link from Zelda, which is Xander.
Yeah.
And then there's
Princess Clara and Foxy are hot.
Yeah, then there's a superhero, and Foxy was like from Josie and the Pussycats type thing.
Captain Heroes.
And it's like, oh, it's like a reality show, because like reality shows were like blowing up really big at the time, and that's what the first season was about. And then the second and third season is like, just forget all that. It's just these weird weirdos living together.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like okay, for instance, I know like some people are just like, oh, the edge, because like the thing with Drawn Together is like sometimes the jokes were like, okay, that's just you're just trying to piss everyone off, which again, like it's like that whole SpongeBob squirrel analogy where it's just like, all right, we don't pick on one person, we just hit everyone, and trap metal is just gonna go every single where, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, like South Park, like, and then like in the movie was trash. The movie's god awful. Don't watch the movie. It's awful. Yeah, but like the show, like there's a lot of stuff where it's like, okay, that was kind of smart. Very fucked up, but smart. So yeah, Drawn Together was a creation of its time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still. I think it's on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah,
I want to do a review of it. I mean, I feel like it's one of the edgiest things on television ever, where it's like, Jesus Christ, like, you all do not hold your punches.
Right.
The 2000s had a lot of that.
Yeah, that was it's kind of amazing how, like, remember the Man Show? And
remember the Guy Game?
Right. There's also a show called because there was a Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Comedy Central decided to have this bright idea where they made something called Straight Plan for the Gay Man, and which I'm quite certain was all scripted, but it had like these four straight guys who hung out with these gay guys being like, you gotta be more straight. Here, eat chili or something. Put on a flannel jacket and go hunting. Go bowling. And it's like, I think it got canceled after 6 episodes. And I'm like, thank God, because even during the edgy 2000s, this show, it sucked no matter what. But like, even when public appeal might be a bit more open to it, it fucking blew. Turn it off.
No. There was like a lot of shows like that. I was like, oh God, this is terrible. The only thing.
Anyway, moving on. We got some new images for.
Princess Clara and Foxy were hot, man. Oh, I used to watch that all the time, dude. Fuck.
Well, we got some new images revealed for Monsters at Work, the new Monsters Inc. show. They look good. I'm excited.
I've heard horrible things.
Really?
Horrible things about the work conditions for these monsters. They have to pee in bottles.
So stupid. Oh god.
I knew you were going there.
Jeff Bezos. It's like he's not even a monster. He's just Jeff
It's
Bezos.
it's Sully. It's just like he takes off. Like it's just like Jeff Bezos in a Sully costume.
Right.
Right.
Oh god, it's so good.
Welcome to our Monsters Inc. Fulfillment Center. Sully, they're peeing on the floor.
All right. So let's see. DreamWorks announced that they're having a sequel for Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish for a 2022 release.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Yeah. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
I whatever.
Have you seen Puss in Boots?
It was so forgettable to me. I like Puss in Boots as a side character when he got his own movie. I'm like, it's serviceable, but nothing outstanding. I can't recall it.
Right.
Mm.
I've actually seen that movie
I
recently,
barely
too,
remember.
and
I just
don't
remember the
that much
freaking
about it.
egg. Yeah, there was an egg guy.
So Nickelodeon
yeah.
has a ton of animated content coming out soon, and stuff that they've greenlit. So let me go down the list here because there's quite a bit. There's something called ZJ Sparkleton. It's about a 10-year-old vlogger.
I think I heard this. Yeah.
What?
Something called The Hamster Show. About an owner of a crew of hamsters. There's
Okay.
those are like 2 original shows that are coming out. Then the Rugrats cartoon, the Rugrats reboot, which is the 3D thing. So all of the babies, I think, are reprising their roles, except for Chucky's voice actor.
Of course. Yeah.
But the parents are all new voices.
Really?
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
The parents are all just as important, I would say, but
Yeah.
Your golden, whatever he said. Stu. Oh yeah, Stu's voice actor sadly passed away like a while. I remember that.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, there's Camp Coral, like Rugrats, the Patrick Star Show. I was very surprised by this. It's coming out in July.
Really, that fast?
Wow.
Yeah, July 2021.
It's I mean, good God. I've been thinking about it. Is this just the big old rip of the Band-Aid for Viacom, Paramount, whatever, to say SpongeBob is now a like My Little Pony like franchise?
It's a franchise, yeah.
Get comfortable, guys. This is the new reality of it all.
right. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean it's been 20 years now, so shit. Yeah.
But there's more here. Also in July, there's something called Middlemost Post. There's a 2D animated series following Parker, a former rain cloud, Angus, a brawny mailman, and Russell, their magical pet walrus.
You get these elevator pitches. All right, here's my show. Just get in here.
Something called Big Nate, which is based on a book.
Right.
A series of children's books. There's a new Smurf series, which looks more like animation-wise to The Lost Village, which came out a few years ago.
It's good.
Right.
That was a visually pleasing movie.
Yeah. There's Star Trek Prodigy, which is the kids Star Trek. So there's
not to be confused with the teenager Star Trek.
Yeah, adult Star Trek.
There's going to be a Monster High series coming to Nickelodeon in 2022. Yeah, produced by Mattel and Nickelodeon. I'm surprised they haven't really done a full series because I think there've been like specials for Monster High, but I don't think that they've done like a full TV series. I'm surprised they haven't done one yet because of like
It's so
Equestria Girls.
popular.
Right.
Because I think the reason Equestria Girls exists was because of Monster High. Because because Hasbro was like, oh, we need something of like that's like an actual human.
Right.
And it was like My Little Pony's doing well. We gotta make them human.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's gonna be a Transformer series, of course, 2022. There's going to be a theatrical release of a all new CG TMNT in 2023.
What?
Yeah.
Well, where is it?
Of a
Where is
CG
it
movie.
at?
Yeah, in the in here.
Is this the Seth Rogen one?
I don't know.
Let me look at this.
Yeah, it is the Seth Rogen one. Yeah, Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and James Weaver. Yeah.
So it's all CGI. It's not just like because
all news. It says all new CG animated TMNT.
Okay, cool. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so that's in 2023, and then Avatar Studios, of course, they're going to be working on different Avatar projects.
So, do you all suspect that whatever Netflix must have burned a bridge with these Avatar folks, and they're like, peace.
Yeah.
And Viacom, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, when you think about it, like fucking, like what they were doing with the live action show, where it's just like you. All right, so here's the thing with the live action show, right? It's interesting in a fact of like, all right, what do you really want to do? Because let's face it, Avatar is pretty much like damn near perfect, all right? Like it would only be like you're just gonna put it in live action. And again, like I hate to say it, but like live action shows like that do make them more marketable because like people still have this stupid concept of like cartoons are for kids, and so like because I know like there are tons of people like thankfully there are people I know who are getting past that now with stuff like Spider-Verse and other movies and like animation stuff like that coming out. But like there's a lot of people who refuse to watch like series because it's like, oh, Avatar, you mean that fucking cartoon? Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that shit. But then if they see like, oh, Avatar Last Airbender, what is that? I'm gonna watch this. And so like it'd be imperative for them to get their vision out to be like, okay, yeah, this is my vision of what I wanted this show to look like in live action or what they want to do. Because I guess you don't want another fucking M. Night Shyamalan bullshit. And the fact that they were like, we're going to change this. We're going to make Aang this age. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do all these little changes. It just makes sense for them to go, yeah, no, that we don't want that to happen to our baby. So let's just go over here and do what we're going to do with here. So it's silly. It's silly. I hate that it happens though. That happens all the time.
All right. I think that's all we're gonna do for news topics, so we can just actually get some questions in, because there's quite a lot of super chats here. So we'll do that for the rest of the show.
Cool. I got some water real fast.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Get hydrated.
So, before we go into the ones that we have tonight,
hold on. I'm sorry, I was talking right before my headphones back on. Do y'all want to see my new pants that I got?
What
pants?
I got these. I saw these on Amazon. I'm like, I got me some Aladdin pants where they're like the really big baggy kinds.
Yes.
Prince Ali,
They comfy as fuck.
Why do you think Aladdin be wearing them all this time?
Yeah, all right. So we actually had a question that we missed last time because we immediately went off. But there was one from Deli 18 asking, would you rather work at a grocery store or fast food?
I worked at fast food for 6 fucking years, so
yeah,
fuck you.
I also worked at a fast food, so I would probably say a grocery store because it.
Well, no, actually, okay. So here's the thing: it was kind of like this whole like gang thing with us and the commissary kids, because there were people who worked at the commissary. They would come to our station, and we would work at Burger King. We would just walk across the store, so we like sort of had like the you got the goods sort of thing. It was fun times, but from what they told us at the commissary, they said it is so fucking boring and they didn't get paid enough because like they only got paid in like tips from other stuff. And like they got paid, but it wasn't an amount like us at Burger King. We got paid like a hourly amount and they had to like, you know, get a lot of tips and do all this other stuff. So, and they also said like it was really boring for most of the day. So with like Burger King, as much as I hated it, I became like SpongeBob in that bitch. Like I could do every order. I can do that. Like it's like reflexes. Yeah. I still remember how to make a Whopper and all that stuff. And also it made me like very active on my feet since I'm on my feet most of the day. So I guess if I had to, like they were like, you have to do this, I'd be like, fuck it. I already got the skill set. I've mastered that. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Like
I just feel like at a grocery store you wouldn't have to deal with that many strange customers compared to fast food.
Oh no, I worked at the shop at when I was 18. Yeah, because I was 18 and that was one of my first jobs. And there are a bunch of weirdos coming in there. Yeah. Like there is people like talking about like.
Also, if you're working at like a pizza delivery place and answering the phone all the time, like I mean, I'd rather work at a grocery store, because at least you don't have to answer that often. Hey, and trying to understand people who have a very thick accent is really hard.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
You gotta do that a lot of places anyway.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, especially in the drive-thru. Yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah, but I would just say fast food.
I mean, like literally, even in my job, it's not like either of those. But even I have to understand people with really thick accents. I'm like, oh god. Like I can't understand what you're saying. Like,
right.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a dick. Like I just legit can't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not even talking about people with thick accents that are not from around the area. I'm talking about people who grew up here that I can't understand.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, man. Dang old pizza.
Yeah, like that.
Boom, man. Just like extra meatball and cheese and tell you what, man. Like, can you speak slowly, sir? Dang old.
Because usually the people who are not from the area, I can understand fine. It's the people who are from here.
Dang old pepperoni pizza, sausage, mushroom.
All right. So going on to the super chats here. From Edit Man says thoughts on Sony shutting down PS3, PSP, Vita stores and Nintendo shutting down Mario 3D All Stars and Mario 35. Do you think Nintendo will do it similar for the Metroid and Zelda anniversary games? So yeah, all of it's dumb. I hate that Nintendo and Sony are doing that.
Why?
The thing Nintendo's doing for the 35th anniversary for Mario is really dumb because it's only been for like a few months. The Sony thing is like, they have no plan going forward unless they announce something in the next few months. They have no plan going forward to play these games on any other way. Mm-hmm. So the only way to get them now is either download them or like download them another way.
That's stupid. It's so stupid. Or eBay. You download them or eBay. That's what you have to do.
The thing is, the retro market is going insane right now. Like everything is shooting up. And then as far as like, will they do it similar for the Metroid and Zelda anniversary? I'm not sure if they'll do it the same thing for Zelda.
Zelda, it's a little different than Mario.
Yeah, and Metroid they won't do anything.
Yeah, right. Oh, I guess Keith, you think they'll do anything?
But yeah, it's dumb. I don't like it. And then another from Edit Man saying, celebrating Saber's cartoon crush lists. Who are your early crushes in cartoons, anime / games, etc.? Says, for me, it's Kairi and Aqua from Kingdom Hearts. And this is weird, but that sexy, tall, femme swap Johnny Test.
Was that? I guess that was the thing. I think my earliest crush was Fifi Lithium.
I think my earliest cartoon one was XJ9 Jenny. My earliest anime one was Misty. My earliest video game one was Tifa.
Oh, Paleo, she's a robot.
What, XJ9?
It's not even a human.
Yeah, so?
It's not even human.
So?
Wow.
Remember, he's robophobic. Remember that.
I'm just trying to make you mad.
So,
it's interesting.
I do gotta say, I had a moment where my mother I was hanging out with her this past week, and she was like, I watched your Cartoon Crush tier list, and I was like, I think I said mommy milkers in that video, so I'm scared. Or I said something about like a lady stepping on me, and I'm like,
yes, you definitely did talk about a lady stepping on you.
I don't know what to do, guys. They watch it. I feel defeated. They don't judge
you.
Well,
they'll judge me.
they judge, but they're never malicious about it. It's just kind of like that was a video, but like it's my family's indifferent. My mom's the one who's like, she encourages me to be a bit cleaner with it, which I'm like, don't worry, Mom. YouTube's got you beat on that one. But then my mother contacted YouTube, and that's what's happening. She's like, you must censor this, young man. Can I actually throw a quick question at you all, just to pick your brains real fast?
What?
So I posted a tweet today where I was sharing what is one of the first YouTube poops, and it was I feel like monetizations on this channel, whatever. See, this is proof of the thing I'm bringing up here, where Twitter. There's a clip of a YouTube poop of the British who took Triumph of the Will from the Nazis and and fucked with it and made it backwards and forwards to stupid music, and then shared it with the Germans. The Germans were like, "What the fuck?" Like Herr Goebbels was like, he's the guy who was the minister of the propaganda wing of like the Nazis, and he like lost his shit. Apparently, he like destroyed his room. He was so upset. But I'm like, dude, you got fucking trolled by YouTube poop, like 80 years before YouTube. Like Jesus. But I guess what got me is that Twitter made it to where it's like you can't view this content or it's sensitive content, and I'm like, is that where we're at? Like we can't even make fun of them. Like I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like weird about it.
No, I think that's ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just kind of like, I'm like that. I understand the predicament for the algorithms, but like that to me, I'm like,
that's like,
wait, what?
It's not like a historical, like it's a YouTube. I mean, I guess it is actually historical. This stuff is basically YouTube poop. But like, it feels like censoring history, like in a way. It's like we can't talk about this, really. Like it happened.
Yeah. Like if it's something like a picture of a lynching, which unfortunately do exist, it's like that's one thing. But it's like this.
I remember in one of my history classes, we were shown like it's a video because like the teacher also said if you're sensitive to like animals dying, don't like you can close your eyes or leave the room. And it was like a very, very old footage of an elephant getting electrocuted.
Oh.
But that was Thomas Edison who did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Edison was an asshole. He was like, look at with Tesla's currents. It kills an elephant. And it's like, you're an idiot. Edison was an asshole. But I don't know. That was just a thought where I'm like, really? Like, we can't even talk about a video that deliberately mocked them? Okay.
Yeah, silly. All silly.
On to super chats. And a couple more from Ediman here saying thoughts on IGN, aka ignorance. I don't know what they've done lately. I just know that they gave a really low score to God Hand and that Pokemon Sapphire has too much water.
I can't believe the score they gave the God Hand. Like, I hate the argument of get good most of the time, but I feel like that's the argument to actually throw at IGN in that case. It's like, you didn't enjoy this game because you were bad at it. I'm sorry.
I know that there was a Twitter account that kind of was born off of an IGN review, and is like an IGN review of Imagine Babies for the Wii, which was like a 7.5. It is like, is it better than Imagine Babies?
I can't say I've never played Imagine Babies. I want to say yeah, because God Hand is incredibly fun, but I've never played Imagine Babies. Maybe that game is hype as shit. I don't fucking know.
And then Edman asking, since Monster Hunter is the topic at hand, what is your favorite Monster Hunter games? I've only played Try and now Rise.
I like Monster Hunter Fighters. Because you fight like dragons and like monsters and aliens and stuff like that. I like Monster Hunter Fighters. Yeah, it had with a Z. But there's
Monster
monsters to be
Hunter.
hunt.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's an incredibly hard question. I feel like Monster Hunter usually just gets better unless you're talking about cross or generations or whatever you want to call it. That's the only one that I feel like it regressed. But so right now, Rise is my favorite. It's the best one, in my opinion. Followed by World, followed by For You, followed by 4, followed by 3, followed by 3, so on and so forth. And Generations is somewhere near the bottom because that was not the move.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Stories is like, because that's going to be like completely different. It's just going to be like a traditional JRPG.
Right.
Because I haven't played Stories on the 3DS, but Stories 2 is coming out on the Switch, and that looks like, you know, it's just gonna like a traditional Monster Hunter story, or a traditional JRPG story just within the Monster Hunter universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story in Monster Hunter isn't really a lot.
No,
it's not a lot. It's like, oh, you hunt monsters.
That is not the point of Monster Hunter, and it never has been in history. I don't know why I keep trying to make a Monster Hunter story.
I guess that's why they made Monster Hunter Stories. It's like, okay, here's a story.
Right.
Then we got a super chat from Ryan, asking, since celebrity crushes are more challenging, who are some live action characters in film and television you have / had crushes on? Live action.
I really don't.
Live action characters.
You mean live action actresses, like actresses, or characters in
Live action actresses.
Live action
actresses? Yeah.
You like actresses?
Yeah,
I like
live action
characters.
actresses.
I mean, I like Emma Stone. I mean, as far as like an actress goes.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really.
You're not good with names though, Hero, but I know you like, because we've
done this before, and I was like Emma Watson, but after Beauty and the Beast,
yeah, I used to love Emma Watson too, but like, let me see, Angelina Jolie in fucking Tomb Raider. God, she was like, she made my brain shut off. Like, she was like, what? Like, sorry, like it was like, I remember seeing that as a kid and just being like, she's pretty, Dad. She's
pretty.
Dad.
Yeah, I don't crush on a lot of celebrities. I don't know. By a lot, I mean none, because we've had this conversation before, and it took me like 40 minutes to come out with Emma Watson, and now that's not even the case anymore. So like, who's a I don't know. Chris, like you said, Chris Evans is a good-looking dude.
Yeah, no, yeah. Chris Evans. I will say this: I am hetero as fuck, but Chris Evans, if he asked me on a date, who am I kidding? He's too good for me. Yeah, he is a beautiful man. Yeah, he is a beautiful man. All right, I have a big man crush on that man. Yeah, he is gorgeous.
You know the Scarlet
Johansson.
Scarlet Witch.
The Scarlet Witch actor.
Oh yeah,
Elizabeth Olsen is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen is great.
Elizabeth Olsen is gorgeous. Oh my God, she is like Scarlett Johansson, Elizabeth Olsen. They're beautiful. Oh, you know who's great?
Is Elizabeth Olsen for real?
Yeah,
I didn't know, because I've only saw Elizabeth Olsen recently because people were like, people didn't know that Elizabeth Olsen and that's
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Yeah,
they are related, but like now Elizabeth Olsen is the more popular one.
Oh, because they retired. Yeah, they were just like, yeah, fuck this stuff. Me and Paleo agree on this. Freaking Haley Atwell, Peggy Carter.
Oh yeah. Haley Atwell. And also Kat Dennings too. Yeah.
Kat Dennings. Oh yeah.
I don't know why I thought you meant Cat Williams. I was like, really?
Paleo's by accident, not crazy. I just feel like Paleo, damn, dude.
Cat Williams is not my type.
Yeah, it's just like, I would be fucking offended because Paleo's told me numerous times, like, yeah, don't worry, none of you guys are my type. Like, you want Cat Williams' ass over this.
Paleo, would you get with Cat Williams for $10,000
for one night?
Yes,
$10,000 is a lot of money.
Sure, one night. Well, why not?
Oh,
you have to do it with him though.
You gonna put it in the pooper?
All right, next question.
No. You're stuck with Cat Williams for $20,000. Cat Williams and Flavor Flav.
Oh my God.
Oh,
No,
Why would you
next
do
next
that?
question. Another one from Edit Man. Says we're 4 years into the Nintendo Switch. What are your favorite Switch games from each year, 2017 to 2020?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild for 2017. I gotta give it to that. I'd probably say Smash Brothers Ultimate for 2018.
2018, yep.
That or Octopath Traveler. Then 2019.
No, 2019 Switch games.
2019. Let's see, Astral Chain came out then. That was pretty good.
Super Mario Maker 2. That would be my
Oh yeah,
answer.
that came out. Oh, you know what? No, Tetris 99. I'm gonna go with that. That came out in 2019.
You were all about that. You were all about that when it came out.
Yeah.
20.
Then 2020.
I guess Animal Crossing. I guess.
Oh, this is a question like what our favorite games of those years were.
Yeah, for the Switch. Let's see.
For the
2020.
Switch,
Age of the Calamity is. I was surprised at how much I liked that. For like a Warriors type game, I was surprised. It's like, wow, they've actually like given like Zelda a bit of like story here, and actually Zelda the character herself, like a lot more character to her.
Actually, you know what? My answer for 2020 is Clubhouse games, the 51 World games.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna choose Pikmin 3 Deluxe for 2020 for the Switch game because I played that a lot with Saber. It was fun.
I love that game. That was
And
better.
I wonder what the answer for 2021 could possibly be for me.
I mean, right now it's Monster Hunter.
Correct.
It was.
All right, Brandon King asking, Jax, thoughts on Zatch Bell, an old Toonami anime?
Zatch Bell? Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, that was like Pokemon with humans, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, see, okay, so that was the stage in when I was watching anime where like sometimes I like the concept was so serious. Like for example, like Boba, whatever that shit, right?
Mhm.
I remember being a teenager vehemently hating that show. I don't hate it anymore, but I was like, what is this bullshit ruining my Toonami? What is this fucking garbage and shit like that? Just like, what is this? And so like Zatch Bell was one of those shows that like I would only watch like occasionally. Like, this is stupid. Why the fuck they got human Pokemon? We got monster Pokemon. That's cooler. We got Digimon too. And it was just like, yeah, it was all right. It was fun. It was fun. Like the dub was one of those in between, like, oh my god, this is terrible versus this is decent type thing. So it was funny. Like if you watch clips of it today, it's like hilarious with certain things. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that Billiam did a video on Zatch Bell. Pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, nice.
But a lot of cases with anime back then when it was dubbed, they like changed so much, like when they westernized it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like
are great.
with Card Captor Sakura or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed
Sailor
a lot
Moon.
in the Western version.
No, it's just a common thing with like the Western show. Like, I mean, like, of course, like they had the greats like Cowboy Bebop, which was very rare. Like, there's a great video on like why that was rare. But then, like, you know, like most of the shows that you watch from back then are just like, I mean, even if you, because I'm very much a thing of like watching shows without nostalgia bias now. Like, there are tons of shows, like after watching all this TMNT stuff, by the way, coming out April 9th, 2021, go check out my channel. It's like very, I'm able to like sit down and watch a show and be like, am I being biased right now for myself? Or is this generally hold up, like objectively hold up? And so like, there's a lot of shows like, you know, Sailor Moon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Digimon, old school Dragon Ball Z, where I'm like, okay, this is clear nostalgia bias. Like the dub for this does not hold up, but nostalgically, it is really entertaining to me. Like that's it. But like most of the time, it's just, you know, we redub stuff.
Sure. All right. From Tim Whitfield. See, any of you remember when DVD games were in vogue? Like games that you would actually like put in a DVD into your DVD player and play it like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the point and click ones.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you click. Yeah.
I know there was like a
remember
lot
that.
of trivia games that were like that too. Like didn't like a Trivial Pursuit like thing or Seen It. That was a thing. Where you put it the DVD in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Good times.
Yeah.
These times.
Then from Enigma Prince says, what character death in any animation, anime, or movie surprised you the most and made you silently or outright cry from it?
Oh, I got this one. Optimus fucking Prime. Let me tell you about Optimus fucking Prime in the like 80s Transformers. I loved Transformers as a kid. I fucking love Transformers. That show was like great. Optimus Prime was awesome. Soundwave was badass. And then I watched that fucking movie. And in the movie, they kill off like all the old school Transformers. And it's just like,
we need new merchandise.
Yeah, we need new merchandise. I think there's this whole scene with Optimus Prime and he's dying. And he's just like, oh, my sister had to hold me. Like she had to like console me because I was like, what? Thankfully they brought him back in like season 3. But yeah, like Optimus, that took me by surprise. I was like, you can't kill the main guy. What the fuck? I don't want this Rodimus motherfucker. Who is he? No, I want Optimus. So I was like, yeah.
God. So my actual answer, I can't say in case Paley Robert wants to watch it, but Muta Tornado 99, I kind of agree with him. Cosmo from Sonic X, watching Tails have to kill his own girlfriend was really fucking rough. He was like weeping. I was like, is Sonic making me feel something? Like it like messed me up legit. Tails having to legit shoot your girlfriend to save the world is nuts. That's nutty.
You know who else shot their girlfriend? Did bitch about it? Goku. Because they had Dragon
I was gonna say that this one's a much more popular one, so yeah, everybody's seen it. But the thing is, like, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was coming because like one of them's gotta die. Because like with Endgame, I was like either Captain America or Iron Man's gonna die. So Iron Man died. And the first time I was like, oh, I was surprised. But the second time I watched the movie and then the funeral scene happened, I was like, because the funeral kind of drags a little bit, and it's like, oh, it's actually like a funeral. So like yeah, so I kind of like teared up a bit at that.
Yeah, that got me the first time. I remember like that freaking Iron Man scene. It got me because I remember like so many people were crying over the fucking Spider-Man scene. I was like, what the fuck? They got a movie announced that it's coming. They established. It's just like no, because I'm a horrible person to watch movies with like this because like there are certain times where a quote unquote character dies. And I'll be the one like logically like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Like freaking Ash in the Pokemon movie when he got turned to stone. Like I remember my friend crying his eyes out. I'm like, you saw a fucking trailer for season 2. You know he's fine. It's just, what the fuck are you crying for? Or Iron Giant. They like, because I remember Iron Giant, they established that he could regenerate early on. It's like, he's gonna regenerate. He's gonna regenerate. He's gonna regenerate. Yeah, there you go. Boom. So it's just like, I'm sorry.
Saber, do you have one?
Well, refresh me. What was the question?
Oh, what's a character death in any animation, anime, or movie that surprised you the most, or made you silently or outright cry from it?
It's hard to say.
Let me tell you about Boromir and how he sacrificed.
I knew about Boromir because I read the book leading into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything off the top of my head. If it comes back, I'll.
Editman asking, oh yeah, forgot to tell you guys this December of last year, what are your favorite and or least favorite games of 2010?
2010.
That's a specific. I think it's because it was like 10 years from 20 because he was going to ask that in December of 2020. 2010. One of my favorite games. There's a couple of my favorite games. No More Heroes 2 is really good. Also, Endless Ocean, Blue World. Super Mario Galaxy 2 came out that year, which is excellent, and I'm sad that it's not on the 3D All-Stars collection, because Galaxy 2 is even better than the first one. Let's see. Did Monster Hunter Tri actually come out that year?
World of Warcraft Cataclysm came out in 2010. Wow, just kill me.
Right.
Bayonetta came out in 2010.
That's a high contender.
That's a good one.
Might be the answer. Wow, these games. I do not care about these games in 2010.
Donkey Kong Country Returns came out in 2010. That's right. Yeah, that's another good one.
Sure did. I like Bayonetta more though. Wow, so many games. Escalada 2 came out in April, really? Interesting. I do really like Escalada quite a bit. I didn't know it came out in 2010 though. You'll excuse me for just going through this list. The answer is actually going to end up being that. What? Furry Legends? What is this?
What?
Is this?
We're talking about fur fighters.
No, it says Furry Legends. Here we go. I don't even need to scroll any further. It's going to be Blaze Blue Continuum Ships. That's my favorite.
Let's see, another one from Enigma Prince, asking, so Cartoon Network's deciding to pull a 2009 and start making live action shows again. What are your thoughts on this, and why is this Cartoon Network so damn dumb now? I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you the reason, because they're also making a preschool segment on Cartoon Network. It's just for the network. That's the thing. They don't care about the people like us or people who grew up with the network anymore, because we don't watch the network anymore. It's only little kids being watched by their grandparents. That's literally it. Like, the amount of people who actively watch Cartoon Network on cable, who are our age, is very small.
Yeah, very small.
Or teenagers don't really watch it either.
Because
like all that stuff that we're interested in is going to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Is there like even a percent of our generation that's still watching cable, do you think?
I don't know.
Like 1%. I don't know.
I guess I watch it.
You still watch it? Okay.
Yeah, because I
feel like no millennial spends their own money on cable. It's either it's like maybe your parents do or something, or maybe the cable guy died and forgot to turn it off. But yeah, cable's done for. It doesn't have the convenience of the internet, and they know it. The smartphone was GG. It's over.
Yeah, that remember that survey that I posted about like asking people about streaming services and cable. So there's some results on there where I asked people if they have cable, if they pay for cable, or if their parents like pay for cable or whatever.
Do you think you would pay for cable if you were not with your folks, Jax?
You said what?
Do you think you would pay for cable?
Oh God, no. God.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I can buy YouTube TV if I really wanted cable that bad. Like shit. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, because like honestly, the only thing for me, like it's just simple. Like, okay, because you know how sometimes we're like, oh, when is this episode gonna be online? And it's just like, oh, well, I have a DVR. I can just watch it on the DVR, so I don't have to wait about something like that. If it's something I really want, but it's not something like I openly go like, oh yeah, I get to watch it. It's just like if it's on. Like sometimes I'll like see a funny commercial and be like, oh, that's a funny commercial.
Where are you finding funny commercials? Because when I'm at my parents' house and I have to see commercials again, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And there's like, I don't know, like some stupid commercial, like there's a peacock on a guy's arm. He's like, hey, who's a pretty peacock? You a pretty peacock? And it's like a Chevy commercial. It's like, who is this for? Like, I don't. So much.
Oh, see, like I'm mixed on commercials because there's some commercials where I guess like the nostalgia factor does kick in, but again, like I can watch those all on YouTube. Like the whole like Eggo waffle girl, like, oh my Eggo, and she freaks the fuck out. Like that is fucking hilarious. That is never not funny to me. So this survey that I put out on my channel on Twitter. So 229 people responded, and like most of the people who watch me are like millennials or younger. And 47.2% said I don't have cable. Let's see, 48.5% says my parents or another person pays for cable. 10 people said they pay for cable. Only 10 out of 229 people.
Oh, okay.
That's less. That's 4.4%.
Okay, so it is more than 1%. It definitely is.
Yeah. But also, like, the price of, like, cable compared to, like, just having, like, a few streaming services is a lot. Because I was telling Saber this too, and how like cable has so many different hidden fees that you have to pay for each month. Because there's like a broadcast TV charge, there's the charge of having a DVR if you want one. Um, like yeah, it's a lot. Whereas with like streaming, you're just like, oh, you can pay for it a month, you can cancel it whenever, no extra charges.
Spectrum gave up on trying to sell me cable. They called me like all the time, being like, "I see you have internet. Do you want to get cable?" I was like, "No," and like I would explain it to them, and then they would keep me on the phone. And then after a point, it was like, "Hey, we're calling to see if you want cable." I would just hang up, would not even say a word. And I think they just gave up because I
We're calling to talk to you about your extended warranty.
We're calling to talk about your car's expired warranty. We've heard that your car has an expired warranty.
Yeah, we heard your car has an expired warranty. It's like they're breaking in the house. Excuse me? I'm just going to scooch right in here. Yeah, right. You're talking about your car's extended warranty. It's like,
just kick him in the face.
Why are you in my house?
A couple more super chats here. Tim Whitfield asking, "What are your memories of watching Reading Rainbow?" I just remember the Star Trek episode. I just remember that episode when they were like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be on the set of Star Trek." That's right, because he's the guy on Star Trek.
Right.
I don't do much reading.
Juice.
What should I do?
Bullshit, Jax.
No, I didn't do anything. What? That's authentic.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
I
wish.
What?
Nothing.
I don't know what's going on.
It's stupid.
Look at the chat and Jax posted.
What did he do?
Look at the posters from Space Jam.
Oh.
One of these things is like the other.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Why? It's authentic.
Sure. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like Jim in the chat. I had no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, it's Jim.
But
Jim
also
on a comment for 5 years ago.
Made these guys answer my fart question. What?
Oh God, damn.
The Star Trek episode was great, and I still can't read.
Man.
Then the last super chat here from Ryan, saying thoughts on the SpongeBob episode removals. Yeah. So there was the midlife crustacean crisis or whatever, or mid crustacean crisis, the one where they went on the panty raid.
I was surprised that it took that long. Honestly, I was like, panty raid, really? That's still airing anywhere?
Yeah, and then quarantine crustacean. I don't know what that one is. I don't know if that was.
Yeah, what's quarantine crustacean?
Apparently, just the quarantine nature of the episode spooked Viacom into pulling it.
Oh, well, whatever. Okay.
Oh, this is what the fart question was. I just saw it on Twitter. So Jim asking, who of the four of you has the worst farts?
Jax.
What? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, I guess no, it's fair because I have protein fart, so like it's just like that. You'll see like a green mist to start beating the fuck out of your nose. Like it's just terrible. Yeah, I'm not even gonna front on that. It probably is me. Yeah. You slept in the same bed with me too, so I feel bad about that. So.
All right, we'll go on for 11:15, and then we'll stop answering Twitter questions from Nathaniel Foga. What's the weirdest film you guys have seen in theaters? The weirdest?
Weirdest.
Sausage Party.
I would say Sausage Party, but I would probably say Hell and Back because that's weirder.
Oh yeah,
like, I actually because I had to go to a theater that I had never been to before to go see it, and it was also a very strange movie. Sausage Party was actually at the theater that I usually go to, but Hell and Back was like I had to go to Hell and Back to get there.
Oh damn!
I can't think of a strange movie I've ever watched in theaters. Like Paranormal Activity is as strange as it gets. That movie's not great.
The first one was not. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched. Are there more?
No, it's like 5.
Oh, okay. I watched one of them.
From Ozial saying, before I watch Godzilla vs. Kong, should I watch the original 1962 King Kong vs. Godzilla just to see the comparison?
I mean, if you want to.
If you want to, dude. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like not like recommended reading if you want. I mean, like, again, me, Saber, and Tommy, we're like massive Godzilla fans, so like we can appreciate the cheese of it. But if like you're a new person who's just getting into the Godzilla franchise,
yeah, because this is like a new like universe they're making with the monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But not only just that, but just the fact that it's updated and it looks like competent, like versus two guys in rubber suits beating the fuck out of each other. So yeah, I would say if you want to, by all means, but you don't have to.
Let's see. From Kevin asking if you could go to any fictional world and spend some time there, be they live action or animated, which would you choose? I would choose either Equestria or the Yu-Gi-Oh universe.
Interspecies reviewers. There you go.
Because we already did that one.
Yeah.
We've answered interspecies reviewers before.
Fine. I won't use that. Monster Musume. There you go. There you go. Fine, it's the same thing. Fine. What is a place I want to go? Because like most of the places I'm like, I don't want to fucking go. They'll die. Like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, like go to Equestria? Absolutely not.
Tyrek would blow up the place. Freaking like you walk into like a forest just for a walk. Oh, what is that chicken?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No, fuck that.
I don't know.
Can I choose like a calm universe or something that's more comfy? Like I don't know, like Lucky Star or something.
Bro,
I mean that's just our world.
Yeah, it's just Japan.
Just our world with fucking cosplay.
Yeah, but it's animated. Japan isn't animated.
You know what?
You want the animated Japan?
Yeah, animated Japan.
Oh man, I guess. I mean, what'll be a place to go that's not dangerous?
Honestly, anime be making the sticks of Japan look like the comfiest ass place to live on the planet. Like, I don't like rural areas because I grew up in the suburbs, but like I don't know, they make the sticks look so good.
What about
calming cicadas? Just go live your life. Don't do anything all day. I would. Nah. Amphibia, you really asking to die in Amphibia?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially, yeah.
Like, I'm just looking. Hero Academia is a terrible idea. I'm just looking at my.
Unless you're like, see, those places are say if you have like a OP power. Like if you're like, if you put me in that area and like, let's say like I'm transported to Dragon Ball Z, but I'm as strong as like Whis or Beerus, then it's just like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything. I'm literally a god of destruction. Yeah. Fuck. What would be?
Pokemon's a disaster. Who would ever want to live in the Pokemon?
Imagine you get fucking eaten by a Victory Bell the first day. Walking around. It's like, yeah, no.
What's amazing about Pokemon is that everyone in the Pokemon world must be saints because that world is still intact at all. Like,
exactly.
I don't understand.
Silly. Absolutely silly.
Ryan has another super chat here. It says, related to Godzilla vs. Kong, thoughts on the announcement that Adam Wingard is directing a Thundercats movie. He did say it won't look like Cats. The movie.
Well, I mean, I need to see his work with this Godzilla vs. Kong thing just to be like, okay, is he a good director? Hopefully, from all this, I know I'm gonna enjoy it regardless. And Saber's probably the same way, but it's just like, I mean, I'd be down. Like, I wonder what style he would go with, because. I mean, is he going to go with the? I mean, I guess he'd probably go with the '80s style. Like there are just certain things where they're just so iconic that you go with it. Like for instance, I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day with like TMNT. Like there have been so many TMNT iterations, yet we are still so focused on the 1987 one because it's so iconic. Like it's just like. That's the one we always like. We hear the theme song. They always say the stuff they said in that cartoon. They always have the villains in that show. They always do that. So it's like it's interesting how they would do that with Thundercats. So I guess
I'm wondering if people are going to be like that with Because it's interesting with My Little Pony where people associated My Little Pony with like, oh, it's the '80s one. It's like until G4. That's what people associated My Little Pony with. It's like, oh, it's for like little girls. Yeah, it's just like a little girl cartoon with these ugly ponies.
Yeah.
And then G4 came along with Lauren Faust designs, and it was like, oh, these ponies are actually cute, and everybody likes them.
Yeah, it's the mainstream one now.
Yeah,
that's the cool thing about
now,
G4.
now, like G4 is like, this is the one everybody knows now.
Yeah, the mainstream one. That's the cool thing. It's like that she did, like we've talked about it ad nauseum at this point, but it's just like she did such an incredible thing with My Little Pony, giving them these designs and making it so normal and mainstream. Like hell, they had that whole firefighter movie with John Cena, and that was the primary focus of it was fucking My Little Pony, and I love Pinkie Pie, and I'm Michael Myers, and I'm Dancing with Rainbow Dash and shit like that. It's just like, okay, it's weird.
Also, my answer for the last question I realized is Animal Crossing. That's where I want to live.
But then the Doom guy's going to show up, and then he's going to like... Dude, him and Isabel are like best friends, canonically. Both the game companies are like, yeah, you can go visit. Like, go. I would like talking to Doom guy. He seems chill.
This is an interesting question from Santos Celine saying, do you think Western comics should follow how manga release their comics, where it's more established without it being confusing?
Okay.
I think... Because before you say... I was like, I think that's what a graphic novel is. Yeah, because like comics, at least back in the day, when comics were released, is like, they're like loosely connected. But nowadays, it's like when somebody wants to make an established story that like follows a strict like storyline, it's a graphic novel.
Yeah, they'll have like a graphic novel run where like that'll be like the entire run, and then like they'll end it, or they'll have like because like the thing about comic books is they are so connected and not connected. Like for instance, they had like some storyline come out recently, which was connected to a storyline from the 60s, which we didn't think about for a long time. And it's just like, it's weird. Like comic books do this thing where they make up their own rules and reality, whatever they do. And sometimes that works really good, but then sometimes it works very stupidly. Like for instance, here's one of the stupid changes they did when like Deadpool was like at the height of his popularity was like the reason the symbiote was so crazy and evil was because during Secret Wars, Deadpool was the very first one to grab onto it, and the symbiote absorbed his insanity, and that's why he became crazy. And then later on, why Venom is so crazy, and it was just like, that's stupid. That's just fucking dumb. That is not at all how it originally happened.
I guess that's so, because like there's so many different comic storylines and so many different iterations of the characters.
Yeah.
The movies have an advantage to where it's like they can pick and choose which ones they want to like best represent the characters.
Exactly, and that's a problem, I guess. Like, because that goes into that whole thing of like, how much do you change a character when you're establishing from the mainstream? So, like for instance, like we've seen Superman done exactly like how he's supposed to be done by Christopher Reeves, like by various people, stuff like that, like the DCAU Superman. And so, like they're trying this new edgy thing, but again, like what takes away from that is this is the character, and you're just trying to like model them in a way that's like I honestly, I cannot think besides the Superman and Lois show, the last time I saw Superman in recent media where it's just, or besides the Harley Quinn show too, like Harley Quinn show, he was a himbo and I loved it. But it was like, most of the time it's just like he's evil, or they always have like this evil version of him, or they have like they do this thing where they keep making him like this dark, edgy person. And it's just like, that's not Superman. That is not what Superman is, and it's frustrating. So, and then they play it off with the whole multiverse bullshit that they do. So, so I guess comics is just its own thing. But like, I do appreciate when certain storylines are just like straight narratives, like graphic novels are.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll end it here because.
Wait, can I ask this one question?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
From Richard Brad, he said, for anyone who's seen all the Rush Hour movies, what's your favorite scene from the Rush Hour trilogy? Oh, and, man, Chris Tucker fighting, or I guess I should say it's like Detective James Carter, if you will, fighting Lee in Rush Hour 2, right at the end of it. Oh, just that entire sequence is fantastic. I love it. You crazy ass bitch! Crazy ass bitch!
Wow, another scene from Rush Hour 2 I love, where it's just like, yeah, why don't you push the button? And it's just like, what are you doing? No, trust me, he won't do it. Yeah, push the button. Push the goddamn button! And then the kid starts getting into it, and they just like say, you push the damn button. Like that was so good. That was so good.
I want to rewatch Rush Hour now. I do really like.
I haven't seen it like since middle school.
Yeah. Rush Hour 1 and 2, like, I mean, I haven't seen Rush Hour 3 since high school, so I don't remember
it once. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like on a more wholesome note, I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. I think it's 2. But like Jackie Chan is he's like, I think it's Jackie. Yeah, he's disarming the bomb off the little girl, and after he successfully does it, she like has the big smile. She's like, shit. I'm like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, that was part 2. Yeah, that was 2 with the little girl. Yeah. Just a goddamn button.
All right. So this was the last POS podcast of March. We had 3 this month, which rarely happens. Because it just lined up like with every Monday. So next month we'll have one on April 12th. Yes, April 12th.
And I'll be fully vaccinated, so
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be like the day
so will
after
Hero.
I'm vaccinated.
Because you said yours is on
the 14th.
Oh, you're on the 14th. Okay, I thought you said you were at the 11th.
No, I can get mine come the 8th. Well, no, I can get mine. Yeah, come the 8th, but the earliest one I can. The appointment I chose is the 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll tell you how I feel afterwards. So hopefully I'm not too sick.
Hopefully I can find an appointment by then, by the next podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all on the 15th. And thank you for coming out, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.